What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now, and to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before, where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons. They should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and people that are struggling and truly compassionate, answers will be given. We have to solve the problem, and we have to solve it in their countries, not create new problems in our countries.
Okay, that was President Trump today at the United Nations laying out the Trump doctrine that every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders to protect their people, and that America has a big heart for those struggling, but the right way is to fix problems in their home nations. Joining us now, Terrell County, Texas Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all that you've done for our nation. What's your take on that? Because Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Bill and Hillary Clinton all pretty much said the same thing. So did numerous leaders worldwide.
Hi, Liz. Great to be back on with you this evening. And, I think his words were wise in the part where he said, and as you repeated, we have to fix the problem in their country, not wait till they come here and it's a problem in our country. Look, it's hard to believe that, the previous 4 years, the amount of people we allowed into this country that didn't have that need that the president talked about. We are compassionate. We do care about people. And if there's a need for someone to come here, we have a process, but not just open the borders and allow anybody to come in the country. And that's exactly what we saw. And as I said before, Liz, we're going to pay for the last 4 years for many decades to come.
Yeah, Sheriff, you're in the front lines. You see it, right? I mean, open borders causes people to die. They die trying to cross illegally. Women, men, children die. We tracked at one point thousands of people dying coming here illegally, crossing through things like the Darien Gap. And then it creates crime. It creates human trafficking, sex trafficking. President Trump noted a lot of stats today, Sheriff, in his barn burner speech at the UN. He said nearly half of the inmates in German prisons are foreign nationals. In Austria, it's 53%, Greece, 54%, Switzerland, 72%. The president said, you repay kindness. They repaid kindness with crime. And it's a time to stop the failed experiment of open borders. Do you think people around the world are waking up and hearing what he's saying?
Most definitely. We look in Great Britain when people are coming to their country to leave different parts of Europe, Germany, all over the world. We see different immigration patterns, not just the United States, and we hear of the crime that comes with that. We have people from third world countries that are coming to countries like the United States, like Great Britain, and they're bringing their troubles, they're bringing the crime, and they can't meld into our society because they're not used to living by the rule of law. They're used to doing what they want. But I have to comment on that first portion you mentioned about deaths. Look here in my county, and I just had an MIT journalist out yesterday that I took out along the border. Historically, we'd have maybe one or illegal alien die a year crossing our portion of the border. During the Biden administration, we had a total of 43. That pales in comparison to other parts of the border, but when we go from 1 a year to averaging about 12 a year, if 13, it was incredible. And regardless if they're legal or illegal, I don't want to see anybody die. And that was a man-made problem by a single administration.
Thank you so very much for so many reasons, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland. We appreciate you. It's good to see you again.